right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Be Elite podcast. This is the very first episode of the 23-24 school year. My name is Mr. Smith, and I am the podcast advisor. I have been fortunate enough to work with the podcast students since 2020, since we first started this podcast. I want to give you a little bit of background about the podcast real quick in case you're just like, hey, what is this? Why are all these students in a Zoom room? Well, this is why. The Be Elite podcast is a completely student-driven podcast. When I say that, I mean students do interviews, students create the questions, they brainstorm the topics, they do the graphic design and editing. This is made as a labor of love from students. So if you are unfamiliar with the podcast, I invite you to go check out YouTube. We have all of our episodes from our past 3 seasons right there for you to check out. But this is a brand new school year. We have new faces, we have familiar faces, and we have some good stuff to talk about today. So first, let's do some introductions. Again, my name is Mr. Smith. I'm the marketing coordinator for Elite Academic Academy. What does that mean? I do marketing on social media, on the website. My job is to tell the story of Elite. And I can't do that without students, and I can't do that without parents, and I can't do that without our fantastic staff. I used to be our marketing teacher. Mr. Diaz is now our marketing teacher. He's a fantastic gentleman. If you're in his class, you already know that. But that is who I am. I've worked in education. Let's say I worked in education since 2002 in a variety of capacities to now being our marketing coordinator. So I love working in education. I love working with students, and I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to have this new school year. I'm excited for this group of podcast students, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So if you would like to introduce yourself, please go ahead and come off of mute and let us know your name. You can let us know your grade and let us know why you're here at the Be Elite Podcast Club.
So my name is Armando Fernandez. Most people know me as Juju. I am a huge Boston Red Sox fan, and I'm in 8th grade, and I'm here in the Be Elite podcast because I just like hanging out with Mr. Smith.
Good as reason as any. So heck yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. Always a joy to have you. Next up, who do we got?
Hi, I'm Ruth. I'm 12 years old in 7th grade, and I joined the podcast club because I started listening to podcasts a couple months ago, and I kind of wanted to be in one ever since, so yeah.
Welcome, Ruth. We're happy you're here.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Catherine. You can call me Kathy if you want. I'm 13 and I'm in 8th grade. And the reason I want to join Podcast Club is just to socialize with people, because I used to be very by myself most of the time, but I've grown to be more active with communicating.
Fantastic. We're happy to have you here. I was the same way growing up. So yeah, this is a great way to, communicate and build those social skills. Heck yeah. All right. Next up, Connor.
My name's Connor. I joined this. This is my first time at this club, and I just joined because I've always wanted to do my own YouTube channel, and this is the first step.
I like that. Yeah, this is absolutely the first step, and what you learn here, I hope you will take and create your own channel and do what you'd like to do. So welcome. We're happy to have you here. All right, next up is McKenna.
Hi, I'm McKenna. I'm 13. I'm in 8th grade. I am a huge Raider fan, diehard Raider fan, I should say. And I decided to join the Be Elite podcast because I want to have really good interviewing skills for the career I want to do, which is in the NFL as a sideline reporter, or once I'm good enough to go into the booth, I would love to go into the booth and report during Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and Sunday Night Football.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. I was fortunate enough to be at least in the press box before as a reporter, and it's so cool to see those people the play-by-play doing their thing. So welcome back. We're happy to have you here.
My name is Isela. I'm in 3rd grade, and
I'm about to turn 9 in December, and I joined the podcast because my two sisters. I have two sisters, and they have like a lot of clubs. One is in Red Readers, and like one is in the music class, and like so I've been like I was searching and searching and searching, and then I found the podcast, and I always wanted to be like in a podcast. So I just I wanted to join, and so I asked my mom, and she said, "Yeah, I can join." So that's why I wanted to join.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so glad you did search for the right club and you found us. We're happy to have you here. That was a heck of an introduction. I love that. All right, Katarina, you're next.
Hello, I'm Katarina. I'm in 7th grade, and I joined the podcast I actually joined the podcast last year, and it was a pretty cool experience, so I wanted to go again. And it's also because I wanted to see Mr. Smith.
I appreciate that. Welcome back. You're a fantastic student, so I'm so happy you're here. All right, who do we got next? We have Elisa. Go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Elisa. I'm in 7th grade as well, and I joined the podcast club last year. I came back because Mr. Smith is an awesome teacher, and I love doing podcasts and picking all the topics, and it's really fun.
We're so glad you're back, Elisa. When you joined last year, it was awesome. Brought us a ton of new ideas, so looking forward to this year. Thank you. All right, let's see. Anybody that hasn't gone yet? Oh, Seth, go right ahead. Let's see if the connection's working for you.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Yes, go right ahead.
Okay. So my name is Seth Korea. I've always wanted to be in a podcast. I've always wanted to be on YouTube. I've always watched like famous YouTubers ever since I was a kid. I've been so inspired by them, and like I watch podcasts now. And yeah, I just always wanted to be in a podcast too. So I want to share all my ideas with you.
We're so excited you're here, Seth. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. All right. Would anybody else like to introduce themselves either in the chat or by turning on their microphone? I'll give a moment of silence for that. If not, we will move on. You're one of my former podcast people and you haven't introduced yourself. You don't know how bad I want to call on you, but I'm not going to because I said I wouldn't. Because you will introduce yourself when you are good and ready, and I'm okay with that. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I see a hand up. Armando, go ahead.
I don't really have, I have a question, but it's not about like introductions. But us being on a podcast, naturally, there's a lot of other podcasts, but there's one or two podcasts that stick out to me, and I'm wondering if you're a fan. So are you a fan of Birdcast?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Well, are you a fan of the Joe Rogan Experience?
I know who Joe Rogan is. I honestly haven't had a moment to listen to his, but I hear it's an extremely popular podcast and he's very outspoken.
Oh yeah, he spoke with a Japanese scientist who created a particle accelerator in his garage at the age of 17, and it was really interesting.
So we did a poll because I wanted to open it up to our students. I wanted to see like, hey, so like, what do you want to talk about? And it came down to a few topics, and one topic took the poll. Everybody wanted this one, or the majority. So today our topic is cartoons. So we're going to talk about cartoons as in what is your favorite cartoon, but also why is it your favorite cartoon? It doesn't have to just be one. It could be favorite cartoons, plural. I'm going to open up the floor and just let anybody who would like to speak to jump in there. Just please be respectful of everybody. No speaking over each other. If somebody's talking, that's mute. And I will do the same. But go for it. Cartoons.
One of my personal favorite cartoons has got to be Phineas and Ferb. I just love everything about Phineas and Ferb. The Phineas and Ferb show is like so sentimental to me. Like even their theme song is amazing. I just love how like they put detail into every one of their songs. Like in the episode, they have an episode where one of their mom's favorite bands, it's their mom's birthday, and their mom's favorite band, it has been broken up. And for her birthday, the two sons bring the whole band back together. And they have two songs. No, they have three songs in that episode of them just getting the band back together. And one of those songs, it's fabulous. The name of the song is literally fabulous, and it's wonderful because the wordplay in each character, it shows their personality. It shows, like what they're thinking, and this fabulous song. They're getting the bass guitar player, but he was very fashionable. He was always wearing nice leathers and always had a clean head of hair. His hair was always done on stage, and the song, in the lyrics of the song, literally goes, "He's fabulous," and then the actual guitarist, "I'm fabulous," because he thinks he's like so fab. But that show is just so sentimental for me, and my uncle and I have like watched every episode, almost every episode, unless they came out with some new ones. But that's really top tier for me.
Well, that's a great way to kick this off. Geez, thank you, Armando. I mean, and thank you for going, in depth on this, why it was important to you. Thank you so much.
I do have to agree with Armando about some of the episodes. Like about half of them I like. The other half aren't so great, but definitely Phineas and Ferb was one of the greater cartoons. I don't know if this is a cartoon or not, but Bluey, my cousins and I always watched it because it was just so funny. And for me, it was relatable because my dad's Australian. So, yeah.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Can it be a movie or is it just shows strictly?
It can be a movie.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, Elisa, for sharing that. Who would like to go next? Well, I see all these. Okay, I'm going to go in the order I see it on my screen. Natalya.
I'm the one who chose this topic in the first place, so I made a Google Doc with some of my favorites because I did not want to forget what I was going to say. So a couple of my favorites are Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Gravity Falls, Over the Garden Wall, Infinity Train, Star Wars The Bad Batch, and Invader Zim. Like, there's a lot to explain. So I just really like all of them for their style, characters, and just plot, humor, and normally I'm picky with what I watch, but I really like those shows.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome list right there. Wow. Just fantastic list. All right. I'm going by who I see. Let's see. Isella?
Hey.
You're next. What's your favorite cartoon?
I like the Powerpuff Girls. They're like, all three of them reminds me of me and my sisters. Like they like the green one reminds me of my the oldest, and then the pink one reminds me of the middle, and then the Blossoms Bubbles reminds me of me. We all have the same personality and like same act, because like every time like my older sister and my other sister, they both fight, and then in the cartoons the Green Buttercup and Blossom always fight, and that's it.
Well, thank you so much. No, that's a fantastic one to bring up. McKenna, I see you're next.
So I have two, The Amazing World of Gumball and SpongeBob. Those are two classics. literally two classics. I started watching The Amazing World of Gumball because we go to Vegas for vacations kind of often, like 2-3 times a year. And they only have the only like kid channel is either like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, so it's either one of those two TV shows on. So it's like, but I've kind of grown up on SpongeBob, so it's like, so yeah.
Fantastic picks. Thank you. All right, Katarina.
I'm gonna have to say Gravity Falls 2 and The Simpsons, because The Simpsons is a classic. Like, and I also love the Giant Peak Donut from Universal.
I love that. Yeah, Simpsons is one of my all-time favorites, so thank you for that. All right, Ruth.
I have two. I don't watch that many cartoons, so I don't have that many. But I like the Avatar Way of the Water show because my little cousin, she's like 5, and she introduced me to it. I was like, wait, this is really good. And then I like the movie, the Animal Robin Hood movie. It's really funny.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. That's a great choice. Well, thank you, Ruth. Really great choices there. All right. Let's see. Connor, I see you next.
What I'm picking is not really a cartoon. My favorite's it's an anime. My favorite is I have a lot of favorites, but my 3 main favorite is Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Demon Slayers.
Wow. Those are 3 amazing ones. Dragon Ball's my all-time favorite anime, so great choices there. Thank you. All right, Catherine, you are next.
Okay, well, here's a little shocker at first. I don't watch cartoons that much, but one cartoon that came to my mind that, I'll be honest, I never really watched the whole thing. It was like Looney Tunes. I think like my sister used to watch it. Thing is, my mom was so worried about me because like when I was a kid, I didn't watch cartoons. I didn't like them. So she was like, oh my God, what's happening to this kid? Because like kids like cartoons. But I think I've only watched one Looney Tunes, and that's pretty much all I've ever seen of a cartoon. So yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. Not at all. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's see. Annabelle.
I have a lot of favorite cartoons, but I think my 2 main favorites are Over the Garden Wall and The Amazing World of Gumball, because I just really like the comedy and the story of both of them.
Excellent choices. Thank you. All right, Seth, I see your hand is up.
So personally, I was raised off of cable TV. So I would say that my favorite cartoons, I have a lot of them. So the ones that I would choose is Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob, The Loud House, Teen Titans Go, Simpsons. The list goes on, but honestly, if I had to choose one, Scooby-Doo. Because just everything is just a classic. I feel like a lot of grown-ups used to watch Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is still going, like, kids still watch Scooby-Doo till this day. So, honestly, if I had to choose it, it would be Scooby-Doo.
That's awesome, Seth, because that's actually one of my favorite of all time is Scooby-Doo, because even when I was a kid, there were Scooby-Doo cartoons. And like you said, they keep making them. Kids still watch them. I'll real quick throw out mine. I am far older than everybody else in this podcast, so my cartoons are going to be very different than yours. So first off would be, of course, Transformers. Growing up, the original Transformers. G.I. Joe. That was one of my favorites right there. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. I'm one of 4 brothers, so when we would dress up for Halloween, we would go as the 4 turtles, and I would go as Donatello because that's my turtle. And all the like the 80s ones, Thundercats and Silverhawks and all the throwback ones like that. And then as you get older, it was like The Simpsons, and anime wise, Dragon Ball Z takes the cake. And Full Metal Alchemist is one of my all-time favorites there. So let's see. I'm going to check the comments. All right, I see somebody say I love the Ninja Turtles. Yeah, and the new movie was fantastic. It was so good. I see a whole bunch of hands up again, so I'm gonna start going through it. Thank you, Natalya. I'm a pop culture geek. I really am. I love cartoons. I love all that stuff in anime, comic books, all the fun stuff. Seth, go right ahead.
Sorry, I forgot to put my hand down.
Oh, you're okay. No, Armando, then go right ahead.
So, just adding on what Katarina said, I love The Simpsons. I've watched like all the seasons, like every episode from like season 10 to like season 35. I think they're coming out with a new one.
It's a lot.
Oh yeah, I love The Simpsons. And another cartoon that I think deserves a pretty good shout out is Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers is a pretty good show. I like that show a lot too. It's very funny. It's similar to The Simpsons, but not exactly the same. But I like it.
Good additions.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you for that.
I have two favorite cartoons. I love the Little Einsteins because like it taught me so much stuff, and it was it was teaching me a lot of life lessons. And
All right. Before we go back to anybody that's answered already, would anybody else like to share that has not shared yet about their favorite cartoon? Oh, I see a hand up for somebody who has not shared yet. It's our good friend Matthias. Go ahead.
Aloha. So, my favorite, like, cartoon-wise, gosh, guys, I don't know. I'm in the Simpsons. It's not kid friendly. It's not kid friendly. The Amazing World of Gumball. Gosh,
So
I
which ones do you
don't
like,
think I
then?
have. What shows do I like? Wow, do I have a list for you? But to keep it simplified, I'll keep it to two shows: iCarly and this show called The Dragon Prince. I definitely recommend The Dragon Prince more than iCarly.
I've watched that show before.
The Dragon Prince is crazy.
I've seen it too. Oh my gosh, it's actually really good.
Isn't that the one with the two brothers that meet the elf?
Yes.
Yup,
Yeah.
it sure is.
Did they come out with the third season yet?
Buddy, there's like 4 seasons.
I didn't even know there was a second season.
I watched all of
waiting
it.
for them to come out.
I love hearing the descriptions of
I
it.
binge
Like,
watched
is that the
that
one with
show,
the
though.
elf?
I
And everyone's
binge
like,
watch
yep.
it.
Oh, that's great. No, thank you. Thank you for that. Let's see. I think we had somebody pop in. I don't know if he popped back out. He popped back out, yeah.
I
He
do
pops back
want
in,
to
I'll be-
say
Go ahead.
that Universal Studios, even though it's not mostly cartoons, but the few cartoons that it does have, it really like brings like the actual cartoon kind of to life. Kind of.
It does.
But yeah, cartoons are really cool, and that's what I was gonna say.
And I agree. Universal does a fantastic job of that, and like you said, bringing it to life. And you get to go experience that, you know, and it's super cool. All right. Oh, Catherine, go ahead.
Oh, a cartoon kind of came to my head that I watched fully. It was Star Wars Clone Wars, because my heart is with Star Wars. I love Star Wars with all my heart. So that's one I watched fully.
Yeah.
Clone Wars fan? Hello.
Yeah.
I love
Like the
Clone
original
Wars so
Clone
much.
Wars, right? Like the hand-drawn one?
Yes.
Like that was, oh man. The
Yeah, I like the
Tartakovsky one.
original Star Wars better than the
Grievous
new
was
one.
so good in that one. I love
I
it so much.
just fell out of my
I'm a big Grievous.
Yeah, I see I've seen the chat blow up too. People just loving Clone Wars. I see somebody just popped in. Hello, Xavier.
I
Welcome.
fell out of my chair when she said that. I literally fell backwards and
Well,
fell out
safety
of my chair.
first. Don't want you to get hurt.
Safety first, gotta buckle in.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll just throw it out there real quick. Since Xavier just joined us, Xavier, if you have a favorite cartoon, feel free to let us know what it is and why it's your favorite. We'd love to hear it.
I'd have to say, hello everybody. Sorry I'm late. I had a guitar, but I'd have to say, I do like The Amazing World of Gumball. That was a really good cartoon. That was a pretty good cartoon. I like that one.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Good
I
choice.
agree. A lot of people have been saying Amazing World of Gumball. I like Amazing World of Gumball, but I don't think it's the best one out of all the cartoons out there.
That's true.
It's up there. It's up there, but it's not all the way up there. You know what I'm saying?
But that's okay. It's all based on everybody's personal opinions, you know. I mean, like I said, I grew up, with cartoons out of the 80s and early 90s, and you watch that now and you're probably gonna think, well, that's trash because it was from way back when. But for me, I'm like, hey, that's my jam right there. So agreed. We all have our personal preference. I don't think anybody can ever say there's gonna be one at the very top of anything unless it's like Scooby-Doo. Then it's at the top of everything. But otherwise, no.
I love old cartoons.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I really like The Simpsons, because it's
it's hand drawn, right? It's that classic animation.
Yeah, I just like the artwork of The Simpsons. It's very bubbly, you know.
Agreed. Yeah, very round features.
Bubbly. Oh, I just remembered another very underrated cartoon that I love. It's a pretty old one. South Park.
Oh, that is definitely not kid friendly. We will just stop right there for that one.
Okay.
But thank you for sharing that though. But yeah, it's extremely popular. Very interesting art style.
South Park socks.
What was that?
Yeah, I love it. I have South Park socks. I have Eric Cartman, and then Butters.
There you go. I'm not trying to knock any cartoon at all. I would definitely want to keep our podcast family friendly, and to talk about South Park episodes, I don't think we'll be able to keep it family friendly. So. Agree to disagree. Absolutely, yeah. All right, I see a hand up, Katarina.
I also forgot to say, I also love Bluey.
Yeah, Bluey is the best. I have to say that.
Bingo is...
Oh,
go ahead.
It's a masterpiece.
It is. And the cartoon characters pop out, and then it's so lovable and easy to follow along. And just, it seems relatable in a way, but not really.
That might be why it's so popular, though.
But that's why I love dogs, and it's basically dogs. So.
There you go.
Go
ahead.
One reason why I really, really love Phineas and Ferb is because it's they're geniuses and they're 8 years old. The age is never actually specified of Phineas and Ferb. They're always just ageless. You could tell that they're little kids, but they could be 13, 8, 5. You don't know. But then Candace, you could obviously tell she's teenager, 16, 17. But the ages of the characters is never specified. But one of my favorite parts of Phineas and Ferb is how in every episode, their favorite pet, their loving pet that they love so much, Perry the platypus, goes missing once a day, and they barely notice. Hey, where's Perry? And then they just whatever. He always comes back. And then he just, oh, there's Perry. And
absolutely,
I just have to make a quick recommendation to the song. But there's one episode where they make a beach in their backyard, and they're another thing is in Phineas and Ferb, whenever they're buying something or they're constructing something, the person's with their clipboard. Hey, aren't you kids a little young to be building an outer space station? And then they're yes, yes, we are. And then the people just go along with it. I'll leave that to corporate. And then this song, when they build the backyard beach song is such an awesome song. It's so catchy. The backyard beach, everybody loves that backyard beach. It's just such a catchy song. That's what I love for all the songs.
Their voices are really like squeaky, and it like attracts like more people than just hearing somebody talk like this. They're like, yeah, okay, let's talk like this.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. Yeah.
And we got 2 hands up. After those 2, I think we're gonna start closing up this episode. Oh, go ahead.
And then there's a bunch of there's in the chat. I saw 2 messages saying Iron Giant. We can't forget about Iron Giant.
Agreed. Classic.
Can't forget about Iron Giant.
Connor. Yeah.
Agreed. Thank you for adding that. Yeah. Matthias, you are up next, and then I have 2 more hands after that. Matthias, go ahead. Katarina, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if this counts as a cartoon, but I gotta say that Minions is so good. I love it.
It does count. It counts. Yeah. Absolutely counts. Yeah. Minions Fantastic is choice. It's a fun ride too at Universal.
I do have to agree.
Their little voices, like their language. Like, what's their language?
Isn't that cool? I know.
Their language is mixed.
And somehow everyone understands them.
All right, so we have one last question. If you have other ones, pop them in the chat right now, because we are running out of time. But Ruth, go right ahead.
Like I said, I don't watch that many cartoons, but another good one is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a really big one. Thank you. Yeah, and it's timely. We're in October. And from now until December, it's fair game. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. If you're brand new to the podcast, I hope you enjoyed being on the podcast today. We'll have another one filming in 2 weeks. We'll have a meeting next week, so please make sure you stick around next week for our meeting where we plan out what topics we're going to talk about for the rest of the semester. And please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Elite Academic Academy YouTube channel, so that way you can be up to date on everything Elite that's going on. And that is all I have. I want to thank you all so much, and we will see you next time. Take care.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
We are the best of the best, flying above all the rest.
Elite eagles on a higher quest.